Hello, and welcome to the Christmas full moon in Cancer activation. I'm Adrienne Elise. This Christmas day has some potent energy, and so we should start by examining kind of this as a milestone of the year, moving in the rebirth of the sun, moving into a new phase of humanity. Some things lining up here. So the first thing, of course, that's happening on this Christmas day is the full moon in Cancer, and how Cancer is the sign of nurturing. It's the sign of the mother. It's a sign of security. And so it's interesting that we're having, it's a beautiful energy for this full moon as Uranus goes direct in, because it's in Aries. So Aries, the sign of the self, Uranus is revolutionary change, lightning fast, shifting, electricity, innovation, and this kind of energy. And so Uranus in Aries is about this revolution in the identity of who we are as humans, and that means in our individual life as well. Now, with Uranus going direct today, it's been retrograde since July. And what that means is that it's moving back into the square, the Pluto-Uranus square. For the month of January, these planets have been close, but with this Uranus direct, for the month of January, this is the last time that these planets will come close enough to call it a square. They're 1 degree apart from the 90-degree angle for the month of January. And this Pluto-Uranus square has been going on since the end of 2011. And so we've had these 3 years, a 3-year adjustment, basically, to this new paradigm, to this new calendar, as we have come through the solstice this year, kind of reminding us. And indeed, the Uranus direct marks the end of this Pluto-Uranus square, because it won't, by the time it goes retrograde again, it won't come into a close square with Pluto anymore. And so this is the end of it. Now, we're really feeling it right now, because both this month, first Mars and then Mercury triggered this square. And so they were kind of informing us and telling us about this square. Now, Mercury was just hanging out. It's still in Capricorn, but not so close to Pluto anymore, but really triggered that square. Now, what Mercury is doing is making a trine with Jupiter. And so that's very harmonious. And this is where we get the messages about the new year, the messages about this Christmas day, full moon in Cancer as a milestone, moving us into a whole new era for humanity. And it's nice to have that nurturing Cancer full moon to nurture this new child that's being born and being awakened. And so we're looking at what needs to happen in order to support this process, because Pluto is about the subconscious. It's about breaking things down that we maybe didn't know were there or don't understand exactly, but are in our way of moving forward. And here in the sign of Capricorn. And so right now we have a whole bunch of Capricorn energy, because at the solstice, the sun moved into Capricorn. And so we've got the sun, Mercury, and Pluto all in Capricorn. And so Mercury, having just triggered that square by coming up with Pluto and really triggering that square with Uranus, and now to be on this very exact day of the full moon making a harmonious trine with Jupiter in Virgo, is telling us that the messenger has indeed come through with some information in its journey to join with Pluto. Now, Mercury is getting ready for a retrograde cycle starting in the beginning of January, and January 6th. But until then, with this Uranus direct motion starting tomorrow, and then the Mercury retrograde between now and December or January 6th, which is interesting because that is the day of Epiphany, the 12 nights, the 12 holy nights end on that day. And so this time to have all planets in forward motion, and this is really significant because this Uranus direct is Uranus and Pluto were both direct for the last of their exact squares. Well, that was in March. That was the only of 7 squares that they were actually both in direct motion. And then Uranus took one more retrograde, and now this is the end of the story. This is the encore. This January Pluto-Uranus square is the one last song of these planets, and then we get to really see what this means. And so they're not really going to separate out of the square until spring equinox. And so that's going to be a really key time for people to really be moving forward in a new way on ideas that have brewing, the shifts and changes that have been happening over 3 years, to finally be able to see what in the heck this means for you specifically. And the stars are showing us, though, they're pointing to this 2016 and what this is really about. And so Pluto, this underdog, this part of ourselves, of the subconscious, is really triggered here, and with Mercury having just gone over the Pluto and now in a trine with Jupiter. And so the messenger is saying, okay, we're gathering information. We have been gathering information about how to change these structures. Now, Capricorn is also the sign of authority. It's a sign of the law. It's a sign of the way we do things with the accepted reality. And so indeed, with Pluto there in Capricorn, we're talking about how do we recreate these, squaring up with Uranus to meet the needs of this new spiritual identity. And so now the message in this 2016 year is about Jupiter in Virgo, and because it's coming up right here at the end of December with the North Node of the moon. And so the North Node of the moon is our future karma. It's the direction we're heading. It's how we want to get there, our next steps. And so for the whole of 2016, Jupiter is going to be in Virgo, and it's going to have a couple powerful conjunctions with the North Node. And so this is saying that this is really important. Jupiter is our expansion, our luck, our being able to see beyond the veil, spiritual seeking. And so we have a lot of energy towards this, but then what does that mean in Virgo and our North Node in Virgo? Now, Virgo is the discriminator. Virgo wants to clean things up. Virgo wants purity. And so indeed, the next steps of our development, humanity, as a collective and for us as individuals, it's about cleaning up. It's about using discrimination. It's about purifying and separating the wheat from the chaff, separating out what we want to take with us, the gifts of what we've experienced, and leaving behind the karmic struggle, leaving behind the repeated patterns, the unhealthy patterns. We really are waking up to a whole new way. And so Jupiter in Virgo is saying, push out to the outer realms of this reality, this paradigm, clean it up, find out what's really going on. So we have a huge amount of information or energy for new information coming, or information that we need in our individual life as well as in the collective to be able to clean up. If there's something going on in our subconscious, say there's a pattern that is playing out and we can't find the origin of it, if we can't kind of reach the essence of it, and we're subconscious to it, we just let it play out over and over again. And that's what's been going on with the path of humanity on the planet. And so indeed, it's really important that we have this opportunity to really clean up, to really do what's right, to really perfect the art of being human. And this is a profound shift in humanity as these veils break down and we realize that the people we see around us are ourselves, that we are one, we are part of this whole process of identity. We are each facets of the same identity. And so we have to, as a part of the whole though, if we want to clean up the whole, then we kind of need to understand the other parts of the whole. And there is a whole bunch of the whole that has been hidden from us, out beyond the reaches of our of planet Earth. So much going on out there. And so it really is time, especially with that recurring Saturn square Neptune next spring, it's this disclosure. And what does this disclosure mean though in your individual life? It means forgiveness. It means coming to a place where you can see that we have all hurt each other unnecessarily, and playing out these games of karma. We've all hurt people not wanting to hurt people. We've all been hurt by people who either wanted to or didn't want to hurt us. And so we're carrying around this collective ball of energy that is about pain and about struggle and about the burden of being human on the planet. And it's time to release this, because this is just a story we've been told. We've been projecting this over many lifetimes, this journey through pain and struggle in order to learn. And humanity, we're graduating, and it's super exciting. And so people are changing really fast. But what that means is feeling really vulnerable at times, because you're losing the structure of who you thought you were. And so if you've been feeling like that, if you've been feeling lost, hopeless, alone, and clueless about who you are in your next step, then that means you're doing it right, because we are remaking ourselves. And at the core of this process is the human vulnerability that the Cancer full moon speaks to. This could be a very emotional holiday for us, but we're speaking to this human vulnerability that at the core, we're all the same. And that is the gift of this beautiful Christmas full moon, is seeing that we are part of this greater whole. And that because we are cleaning up, because the planet, it's inevitable, the consciousness shift is happening, and people are waking up to the truth of who we really are, we are going to come into more of a truthfulness. We have to. This next year is about discriminating and understanding and sorting out the truth from the lies. And it's going to get clearer and clearer as we go along. And the truth of who people are right now is showing themselves. And that's a beautiful thing, because we can see into the depths of that shadow, into that psychology. And we can clean it up and be like, okay, yeah, this is a messed up pattern, but at least now I know it and I can fix it. And that's exactly what is going to be happening and needs to happen on this bigger level, that we don't have any clue to the extent of the problems and the suppression and the distortion and the lies that we've been told and the manipulation that humanity has gone through. And it's just it's just the next step of the process, is to really look at things clearly. We've had that Saturn and Scorpio time for a couple years, and now we've got Saturn and Sagittarius. And with Saturn and Sagittarius and Jupiter and Virgo, our expansion of who we are has to do with cleaning up and knowing the truth. And so this is the next step. And so this disclosure, supporting this energy in your own life of being just like either speaking the truth when you haven't been able to the people who you really need to in order to not feel so disempowered. Perhaps it's saying, hey, you know what? I know that I lashed out and I hurt you and I didn't mean to, and I don't want to hurt you. I'm asking for your forgiveness. You know, this is the energy of this season. We can tap into the darkness, going into the darkness and shining the light on these places. And then the nurturing of the Cancer full moon, of feeling like we can go into these vulnerable places. We can cry the tears if we need to. We can open our hearts to love again, by releasing the pain of the past and being like, hey, you played out a powerful role to hurt me in this lifetime, but you know what, if you didn't do it, somebody else would have, because I can see that it's part of my karmic experience. And so I forgive you. And, you know, not only that, I honor you for this role that you've played in my life. And this is the get real. This is the Saturn and Sagittarius. So we're seeking beyond the realm of what we know to be true, beyond the realm of the ideas and the structures, the Pluto, the structures in Capricorn there. We are being called to pierce beyond what we know and build new structures to support us. And that the key to that for 2016 is coming clean with it. And it just feels so much better to get out of the loop of self-depreciation and worthlessness, and find that place within that can see all of this as a grand experience that's about soul evolution. It's not about having everything right there and being comfy all the time. We're here for soul evolution. And it's happening really fast. And for those of us who are on the track of this, that is such a profound gift because of what we get to experience in this lifetime. And so what if you could see it like that? What if you could see everything that happens as this opportunity for your further growth? And what if it was doled out to you in just the specific way at just the right time to give you exactly the method for learning that next step and take it to the next place? Because we are getting dished out this right now, one after the other. Consciousness shifts are just like slamming the planet right now. And so open up to this energy of being able to be real with yourself, be vulnerable with yourself, to look in the shacks and into the cracks and the shadows, and find that forgiveness, that bigger picture of seeing what this is really all about, and welcoming that next strange, painful, or unusual or disturbing experience that comes your way, because that is how we get into alignment with the speed of acceleration of spiritual growth that we're being asked to take part in right now. We do that by finding the gift in the experiences that are happening to us, and then it shifts and we grow and we move on to the next one. And so this dance does get easier. We get more used to it, even though it's not going to stop. It's not going to get any more normal. It's that we're learning how to dance with it. We're getting more and more comfortable with not knowing who in the heck we are, because we're changing so fast. And so by tapping into the energy, you can really allow yourself to be in this watery full moon. Is just the energy of just being that flexible, go with the flow, and surrender to this process that doesn't make any sense, seems like it's a pain in your butt, it's not what you planned, and all of that is what if being perfectly orchestrated by the higher parts of yourself to get you exactly where you need to go and exactly this next step. But with that Jupiter North Node in Virgo, it has a lot to do with discrimination, being real, speaking the truth, understanding the truth, and wanting to clean up the truth and clean up what humanity stands for. And so there's a powerful force coming as the people begin to join together and realize that we're not alone here. We have a special purpose in this amazing adventure that's happening on the planet right now. And we are the revolution. The revolution is in the sign of the self. The revolution is when we realize we are the child, that we are the purity of the cosmos within us, embodied, and that we're here having an experience, not separate, but together. And so that revolution is the revolution that is going to change our planet, is recognizing that we are part of a greater whole. And that's this Uranus in Aries. So Mercury, the messenger, trining up today with Uranus, just as Uranus goes direct, is a powerful energy of now we understand. Now we understand how to move forward. Now we understand what's being asked of us. We don't know the details, but we do know that we are being asked to have this revolution into the childlike self, into the spiritual self, to bring the spiritual impulse to the earth right now together. And so this is a special time of the year when we can tap into this energy, just kind of like this sacred feeling inside of the dark days in the Northern Hemisphere, of just feeling like this tunnel of going through time. And it's almost like you can stop in that tunnel and you can rearrange and you can reset and you can get on the more appropriate timeline, and you can make sure that you're leaving everything behind you don't no longer want to bring with, and you can kind of reset your course with a lighter load as you have this beautiful welling up of unconditional love and forgiveness that is available to us at this time of the year. And so basically this child that's being reborn has the mother energy series there in Uranus with or in Aries with Uranus, and then the Cancer full moon. And so the mothering, the healing is coming right now to help us rebirth into the spiritual self, into the awareness of who we are really as spiritual beings. And this is the revolution, and this is the solution, and this is the next step, is to clear away all the belief systems and structures and manifestations in our world that don't identify, don't resonate with this truth of who we really are, humanity. So some shit has to fall away, and that's what 2016 is all about. And so it's going to be quite a refreshing time, feeling like things are forward motion. Now, I wanted to share with you this image I got of this 2-week period of time, basically from yesterday into the 6th, after Mercury goes retrograde. So this time when all of the planets are in going forward. And I saw a picture of like a window, like as if we were looking out into the world, and we're looking out into the world thinking that we're seeing outside the world, but then all of a sudden there's this screen that forms in front of us, and the screen is the reality that's been painted for us. And so it's kind of skewed, and there's certain squares on this. It's almost just like looking out a window, and there's certain shapes and squares of this spaceship window that we're looking out, but it's not, it's skewed from reality. It's bent and it's curved in the way that they want us to see it. And now what's happening in this next 2-week period of time is that somebody's opening that window. The cosmos is opening to us to see really what's going on, to see really behind the veil. And so this next 2-week period of time is a glimpse into the Aquarian age. Take time to be quiet, to meditate, and to take care of your body, to rest and adjust to these energetic upgrades that have been so strong. But this is particularly a visionary time, paying attention to your dreams, and really using this time to look out that window, to let this Sagittarius, Saturn and Sagittarius start to work in us. And the forward motion, Uranus direct, all planets direct. It's time to move into the new era and look through this looking glass, into the truth of the future and your future, and feel better about things. This is a time to hibernate, go into the igloo, go into the lodge, dream, vision, close your eyes and rest, and let what wants to come to you, visions and information about your future. It's not a time to act right now. It's a time to vision. And but just know that there's this huge opportunity to glimpse, talk to beings, to get information that you need, to understand better about everything you've been going through and what's coming for you. The time has come for us to get our marching orders on this planet. And a lot of us are feeling like we're going through so many changes. We don't know who we are. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know what the next step is. And it's just like, it's just a complete feeling of having the rug being pulled out from under you. But what if that is because we're being prepared for this time ahead, and that our life has to be clean and clear on many levels? And so we've been working on all these other levels, and the outside movement right now isn't exactly clear because we've been cleaning up, we've been organizing, we've been finding out the truth. And so we are still waiting. We're still waiting, but the time is coming very soon that we're going to know a lot more about what in the heck we're here for, and what we want to do with this grand human experience that's happening on planet Earth right now, that we get to be a part of, an integral part of. And soon it will become more clear of exactly how each of us will help in this transition on the planet. So hang in there and enjoy this quiet time, enjoy this visionary time, enjoy this time to get out from the constructs of your everyday reality, step into this magical portal of this time of year, and journey into that future, the future that is that we want to create once we can shift this attachment to the past stories repeating again and again. And so this is the first step, the first job description here going on is to understand as a light keeper on the planet that one of the simplest and important jobs you're being asked to do right now is to hold that vision of the future, that we are creating that to know exactly, you don't know exactly what it looks like, but you know what it feels like. And so you know it's coming, and it's beyond hope and faith. It's just knowing that we're creating a brighter future. And this is really, really important. And you'll be given visions around this. And especially in the activation today, look for this. Because it's really important that we allow ourselves to slow down enough to embody the light, to meditate, to listen. And then during this, specifically these 2 weeks of time, allow ourselves to escape into our visions and our dreams, get the information we need, the resets, and the orientation is kind of the word that comes. We're going through a spiritual orientation, figuring out what classes and where they are going to be and how to find them on campus in this new reality that we're creating. And so just make the most of this time. And I'm just honored that you could join me for this experience and for this information. So let's go ahead and just feel into the power of this moment as we're moving into this full moon. On Christmas Day, a huge shift waiting in the wings for humanity. It's been brewing and brewing over these last 3-4 years. And just go ahead and feel that lightness in your being, particularly around your heart. Just imagining that your heart is moving as well as these planets all go direct. This massive heart chakra awakening and opening. There's movement there that wasn't there before. This is a portal of the cosmic heart happening right now on the planet for the next 2 weeks. And so just feel that movement. Maybe it's a figure 8, maybe it's a spiral, maybe it's a vibration, just in the area of your heart. And just go ahead and pay attention to what's happening specifically for you with this activation. This cosmic heart portal that's opening on the planet right now, flooding us with beautiful light and information and hope, and knowing the future is secure. So when you tap into this energy of this golden age that is available to us on planet Earth, with all the technology we need to solve all the problems, this is a powerful force, because the powers that be want us to keep creating stagnation. They want us to keep creating the old and the same. And that is not what's happening in the cosmos. And there's this paradigm we live in has been being held together by mere fragments of reality right now. And so we have to look at the future. And this is kind of the trick, is that we don't get to know exactly what it looks like, but we can feel into it. And we can know it in our heart, in our soul. And this is the biggest medicine we can bring to the world right now, because there's a lot of despair and a lot of people that are hidden from the truth that it could ever get better. It's just going to get worse and worse. And that is the food for the big parasite of the false government and everything else that's going on right now. And it's coming to an end. When we decide, no, this is our reality and we're sticking with it, we are light workers. We are going through this amazing spiritual shift on the planet. We're here. We're not going anywhere. We are embodying the light in our own bodies as the vortexes that we are. And so the tide will turn. And so this is the most potent thing. And it's hard for sensitive souls because they feel the despair of the earth and they feel the heaviness of the emotions of the collective. And the time has come for us to let go of the pain we carry for anyone else or the planet. It's no longer serving us. So go ahead and just imagine that there's this vortex spiral starting to happen in the area of your heart, awakening you to the possibility of this big cosmic love infusion of this next 2 weeks. And just feel this vortex opening you all over your whole body, opening you to this new light that's coming in, opening you to this new possibility, and opening you, expanding yourself out to connect with the other beings that are involved in this expansion, who are paying attention right now, and just feel the comfort of this hidden but beautiful progression that's being made on a spiritual level around planet Earth. The infusion of light coming from our sun, new messages from the central sun as we move into this new part of the galaxy. There is no holding on to this old lies. And humans are waking up to the love that they are and the connection they have with each other. And then it's really hard to pull that trigger. The powers that be have created all kinds of fearful scenarios to continue us creating fear. And this is why it's so important as light holders right now on the planet that we know that's not true and that we hold this other paradigm. No, we're moving into this amazing, moving and shaking new age, and it's going to be great. We have to hold that. We know that to be true. We have all seen the vision of this. And when we allow our psyche to hold these images, then that is what we're creating. And it's hard. It's like an addiction as we pull ourselves away from the negative thinking and from the despair and from the hopelessness. It's like the tentacles come out and try to grab us. But the most important thing we can do right now is in our individual self, clean up that Virgo energy and basically say, I will no longer feed the monster. I will be true to me and to what's good in the world, to the whole, the union of us. If we're all one, then we come back to resolution. And so we're in one area of disharmony right now, but the whole in itself is in harmony. And so when we can focus on the whole that is in harmony, and that the vital force, the energy of the universe always will resolve back to the one. And then we can take these sucker energies of parasitic energies that are feeding off of our negative emotions, off our hopelessness, off of our despair, off of our fear. And we're just pulling off these tentacles and we're not allowing that. We said, no, so right now, right here, you can decide that you would no longer, you can say no. And that you would no longer like to feed the parasite, the big parasite, which is the control mechanism on the planet that needs the negative, that needs the drama, that needs the struggle, the pain, the war to survive. And it's time to weed the garden. Virgo wants to, protect the preciousness of the plants that are producing the food. It's time for humans to start feeding the magic, the one, the future, the golden future that's ahead of us. And so just go ahead and imagine this big vortex funnel opening within your heart and just step right into that. Just imagine that you can jump off the edge into this wormhole, trusting in the process of your evolution. completely letting go as you allow yourself to just float through the universe. The very center of you is the center of everything, and just go ahead and find that spot. Just leaving everything behind. Nothing is expected of you. Your breathing is happening automatically. There's just nothing to do, nothing to worry about. No lists. Just leave everything behind. Everything is taken care of in this now moment, and just go ahead and move into this still point. Very powerful energy for this time. Reminding yourself here that now is all there is. And all that is happening throughout all time is happening right now. So the only time we really have it's not the time we make for ourselves by trying to rush faster through our errands. The time we have is when we can be present in the now moment. Everything else is death. Just go ahead and remind yourself of that as you come deeper and deeper into this now moment. In this now moment, in the still point of you, this place outside of polarity, deep within the chamber of the heart, it's moving deeper and deeper into this place. Just feel yourself breathing with the universe right now. The whole entirety of everything and its intelligent design, the intelligence behind. Just imagine you're completely and totally aware of this one intelligence, this one unity vibration that we're all a part of. Everything is expanding and contracting, so just go ahead and move into that energy, the vibration, the constant motion of the stillness. And this is the place where you can connect with a part of you that was with you as a child. The part of you that had to go back home to the spirit world and wait while you go through your spiritual incarnation on the earth, your physical incarnation. But your spiritual evolution is about bringing you back home to that part of yourself. Just seeing yourself as a child when you still had the magic inside of you. And how old were you? And I want you to grab up that child and hug that child and tell that child that never lose touch with that magic. Although it's not manifest in this world in a way we can see, it is this world. It's what makes up this world. It's the energy of this world. It's everything. Go ahead and comfort that child. And feel yourself connecting with the part of you that has stayed behind. And now our spiritual evolution is about inviting that part of yourself here in your incarnation, in your body, as we spiritualize our bodies and the earth. Just feel yourself, this big portal opening in your heart, receiving these rays from the sun, receiving these activations, receiving these upgrades, these new potencies, receiving the self. To receive the self, we must release all that is heavy as we turn into light. It's our light body that can hold this bigger self. So go ahead and just receive an energy wave for a light body upgrade, download, assimilation, healing, whatever needs to happen as you allow more room for the truth of your soul spirit to actually incarnate into this body. This is the shift of the time that we're in, literally in this week, in this 2 weeks. It is about receiving the truth of who we really are on a real and practical level in our everyday life. Living from a whole new place of integrity in the way that Virgo wants us to. This is saying what you need to say in the moment it needs to be said. This is joyfully returning each conversation back to the positive or the spiritual, to the higher awareness. This is being the light for the people around you, just by being you. And just receive these light body upgrades and downloads and notice what you notice. And I'd like you to imagine it's time for an encounter with your homeworld energies. None of us are truly native to the earth. And it's time for us to come into contact with the wider expanse of reality. And so just inviting your homeworld energies, the leaders of this energy, your people that are in communication with your highest self, your 7th dimensional self, and just go ahead and invite communication. Go ahead and allow them to approach you, and they have a gift for you. It's like a new cloak or a new robe, and they also can receive your old one back. So this is almost like a brand new astral body that can support the changes, support what you've been going through. And the human part of you needs to die and fall away. The part of you that is attached to being one certain way because you haven't even been yourself yet. You don't even know who you are. So just go ahead and allow this exchange to occur, imagining that you're taking off your old clothes, your old robe, your earthly identity, attachments to the way things are supposed to be, or to material things, or to other people, and just take all that off. Just release yourself from all things that are keeping you from this new identity. Those things don't go away, but your attachment to them can, so that you can live fully present in your heart. And then just go ahead and take this old garment and give it to your homeworld energies and allow them to give you this new cloak. And just go ahead and receive that. Notice what you notice. This is carrying an energy of memory that's been lost to you. And encoded in this memory is, it's going to be okay. You're having an earth evolution. It's for a purpose. You're not alone. And just go ahead and receive that energy wave. So the time that we're in right now is about breaking down the illusion of separation. It has served us for a time to feel alone, to feel lost. But there's kind of one theme coming forward from this communication of homeworld energies, and this seems to be along the lines of similar to the way that they learned to deal with people who had been unknowingly dosed with LSD. And they said, you're on a drug and you're going to come down. And this is kind of like our earth evolution. You're here on earth, but it's not the whole truth of what you are. And hang in there, because it is happening for a reason. And so just go ahead and find this deep, I'm going to call it interstellar peace, when we completely relinquish to the bigger picture of what in the heck we've involved ourselves with. And just sink into this celestial oneness and feel yourself enveloped by healing and curative and balancing, harmonizing energies, reminding you that you're simply on a journey, and the journey's destination is home, and you're closer than you think. And just receive. So the way that we activate and maintain our light body and assimilate and allow it to join with our physical body is that we breathe prana into it. We breathe, you can imagine just breathing air, light, and prana. Prana is the energy of the universe, invisible to us, but very real. And so just imagine that you can just breathe this into your third eye. Just feel it just spiraling up into a tight spiral and releasing on the out breath, exercising your pineal gland, attaching your pineal gland to your newly formed light body, what you received from your homeworld people, and then breathing in through the throat, inviting the glandular system to come in communication and accept this new light body. And then breathing into the heart. And imagine that this pops out the light body on all sides. You are your own source. You're your own protection. You're your own universe. You're your own future. And you are your own hope and knowing. The grand illusion is that we can find these things somewhere outside of ourselves. And true connection that we want to find with other people, we find through connecting first to ourselves. Just putting that radar out there to these people that resonate with where you are on your journey, the people who want to cluster together with you to create amazing things in this coming future, and allow them to start making their way into your life. And if they're in your life, to start talking about it and it become more clear. These groups, these powerful sacred groups that are coming together for very important and special projects on the earth right now. Just go ahead and put that radar out there to your homeworld, or to the energies that are resonant with your growth process. Breathing into that Imagining that just like your own light body, there's an energy that connects your group. And that you're together whether you have found each other yet or not. And you're always together. So just breathing air, light, and prana, feeling the subtle vibration, the increase of energy vibration in your light body. And just feel that prana just move out throughout your whole field as you breathe in and expand. And then release out into your whole aura, just filled with this fresh cosmic energy. You have access to this source energy at all times because you are this. It's not going to work anymore for us to just go through our lives and live our daily life and pretend that we're not this. It's time to bust out of the boxes that our personalities, our past experience, our past lives, our heredity, the people around us have put us in. It's just time to find that expansive sense of self, the big self, that is way more true. Just allow yourself to feel this heart chakra awakening for this group of people that you have not yet found, and for yourself and for the cosmos as you feel this funneling in of love into your heart chakra. Just this funneling in of love, this deep sense of appreciation. For this amazing experience. And that the key to navigating this experience is no longer living the lie that that small little box that's been built around us is who we really are. Just taking a few deep breaths, just expanding into that light body, feeling it all the way around you, 55 feet around you. Energized and activated from this activation, from this meditation, inviting this light into your being. Feel yourself held as a brand new baby. Find the trust that you need to take these next steps in your life. Feel this nurturing Cancer energy holding you like a baby. As you rock on the cradle of existence through your life, held and supported, guided on just the right course. Allow yourself to just relax and release into this beautiful feeling of being absolutely held by the universe. Held and loved by Mother Earth, Gaia, moving you through the waters, moving you through the waters of time. Securely and with stability through all of the ups and downs. Remembering this infant self that's held in the source of creation. Always available there for you. And the great purpose of living life from that place on planet Earth right now. Just feel your heart open to your infant self, your whole heart, the vortex of your heart just opening like a big chasm that's been closed for so long. And take that infant, that newborn baby you, and bring that beloved child into your heart. Fill your heart with this pure magic, this pure cosmic love. It's available for you at all times in your very own being. Just breathing into this love and this peace. This rebirthing means that it's now time to start treating yourself like that precious newborn baby, precious and pure. Deep reverence. This is the environment you must demand in order to bring in your light body home. And when you honor yourself in the depth of your being, because you know who you really are, what you really are, everyone else around you can honor you in that way as well. Finally, coming home to your big self, home to peace and surrender to the universe and its way of working through you in this great cosmic plan. Just breathing into that peace as you begin to make your way back home, but still enjoying your journey, taking your time, rocking on the waves, allowing these waves to harmonize your process on deep cellular level. As this new light body begins to attach to your physical body, to hook in, to get connected. This is this next 2 weeks and what it's really about. So imagine a future where this level of joy, gratitude, grace is always accessible to you, and the universe supports this. This is the future we're moving into. And just breathing in that air, light, and prana, the peace and trust, wholeness, surrender, community, love. Just allow yourself to bring with you this new light body and your peace, your still point. As you come back into your everyday awareness, just making your way back into your everyday awareness and bringing with you your new light body, your new awareness of the community available to you, and your new heart chakra awakening to the love that you are. And what does your life look like when you start living from there? Instead of receiving impressions from everyone around, you are this love. You are the great chasm of the human heart opened again to become the geyser of love that it's meant to be. And what does your life look like when you live from that place? And there's no worrying or knowing about whether you're on your path or if you're doing it right, because you are feeling the overwhelming waves of cosmic love moving through you as a gift to your fellow humans just by existing. You can be a spark in the memory of who we really are as cosmic beings. In the individuals that you meet and represent this beautiful grace. Just taking a few deep breaths, just really opening to bring that air, light, and prana into your whole being, cell by cell. Introducing your physical body to your new light body, your new garment of the future. Just feel for a moment how you are so deeply loved by the cosmos. And what if you could translate that and be that deep love? What if you could own that, know that, and live from that place? What does your life look like? So just making your way back home into your body, completing your journey, but bringing with you your open heart, your new light body, and your peace of mind, all available for you at all times. And just paying attention to your body, to the room you're in, completing your journey, wiggling your fingers and toes, taking a few deep breaths. And you're ready, go ahead and come out of meditation. Well, thanks so much for joining me. What powerful energy, and it's always more fun to do it together. And so we've gotten some powerful information here come through about this next 2-week period of time. Not only is it a gateway out to what is really beyond the veil, but it is a time to receive and own and assimilate into a new light body, literally being born into the cosmic Christ that we are to be on this planet. So I am really glad to be sharing this powerful moment with you, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the year in 2016. Blessings and namaste.